Folks, the New York Jets are doing a lot of homework on a particular top quarterback prospect ahead of the 2025 NFL Draft. Does that mean what I think it means? Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
What is going on, everybody? I am Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast, baby. Welcome to the program. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, head it on in. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, and every little bit helps. It's free to subscribe to the channel. But if you want a chance to win some cool free shit, excuse my Guatemalan, well, we've got a raffle going on, baby. Let's show it up here on the big board. Do you want a chance to win the 2025 official Jets draft hat? Do you want a chance to win the official 2025 Jets draft shirt, plus one of the greatest movies of all time in Draft Day with Kevin Costner and Jennifer Gardner, Blu-ray, DVD, digital, all that jazz? Well, I've got the deal for you, baby. Just spend $2.99 on this channel. You could do it with a super chat. You could do it by purchasing a membership to the Boy Green Coffee Club. That's our YouTube membership group in the YouTube description down below. You can help support the show, and you'll get a loyalty badge next to your name. You'll unlock all of our emojis that are created by Snowball from Jets Worldwide. You get access to our Discord channel. You get early perks on videos and all kinds of wonderful content. And oh yeah, you have an immediate raffle ticket to win all this fun jazz. So I highly recommend everyone takes a swing and does it, because again, this does not go through the rest of the month. Folks, if you want a chance to win this, you can submit your raffle tickets through Tuesday, April 15th. We will announce the winner to that contest on Wednesday, April 16th, and then we'll immediately ship that out to you wherever you are in the United States of America or beyond. I mean, we've had our number one Austrian Jet fan. We sent a package to Austria before, so quite frankly, anywhere on the planet, I suppose. So all of that is available. Again, you can continue to submit your raffle tickets through Tuesday, the 15th. That is your opportunity. Let's get into it. We have a full article in the YouTube description down below. And here is our Boy Green raffle leaderboard, our top 5 biggest gifters so far this month. Aced Up 10, 58 raffle tickets. J-Boy, 51 raffle tickets. Devin, a.k.a. DNY for Life, 15. Dick Chiney's Burner and Jimmy Jets have 10 raffle tickets apiece. And for Lillian Big D rounds out the top 5 with 8 raffle tickets so far this month. Now, let's get in. Let's get in on this. So I want to I already put it up, as a matter of fact. I already put up a poll. And it is currently on our YouTube video. So if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, you can hop on over to YouTube to vote on it. It says, would you as a Jets fan have any interest in the team drafting Alabama quarterback Jaylen Milroe? Yes, no, or depends on the round. And for instance, let me bring up this comment immediately. Taylor Sterling says, bad poll, man. Every pick depends on which round. I would disagree, respectfully, Taylor. There are some people that hate Jaylen Milroe and wouldn't want him in any round. And you have to be realistic, right? So, like, let's say you're not a fan of Cam Ward. You're like, but I'd take him in the 7th round. Well, that's stupid. Like, obviously, he's not going to be available in the 7th round. Neither is Jaylen Milroe, for that matter. We'll get more into that later. So, some people, I think, completely have him off their board, Jet fans, that don't want any part of him. We saw it yesterday. When Jaylen Milroe was the mock draft selection at 42 overall for the New York Jets, there were people going, oh, terrible mock draft. That's disgusting. Well, do I have news for you people? I've got a feeling that Jaylen Milroe, I don't think he's going in the 2nd round anymore. I think he's going in the 1st round. And the New York Jets are doing some homework on this guy. And I say, does that mean what I think it means? Let's give you this detail first. NFL insider Jordan Schultz revealed on social media that several, quote, key members of the Jets offensive staff, end quote, met with Alabama quarterback Jaylen Milroe ahead of his pro day last month. All right, that's kind of curious. But that's not the first time the Jets have sort of circled the wagons around one Jaylen Milroe. At the NFL Combine, end of February, early March, Jets quarterbacks coach Charles London put Jaylen Milroe through a workout while the other quarterbacks were running. Shout out to ESPN Tennessee Titans reporter Teron Davenport and then Rich Cimini for sharing that on social media. Interesting. The Jets are all over Jaylen Milroe. Now, I will tell you this on Jaylen Milroe. His draft stock's been all over the gosh darn place over the last 12 months. Mel Kiper Jr. Yeah, Hep says Alabama quarterback. Have we had success with any of those ones before? More on that later, perhaps. Let's put that in let's put a pin in that. Boop. Let's put a pin in that one. But I'm curious here about the stock, right? The draft stock. What's such draft stock of Jaylen Milroe? Well, Mel Kiper Jr. was promoting his latest mock draft 4.0, and he was doing the ESPN television special. And somehow Jaylen Milroe came up because he mocked him in the second round to the Giants. But he said, insert amount of months ago, Jaylen Milroe was a surefire top 10 pick in the draft. And then inconsistencies during a season, which again, we'll get into some of the statistics in a moment. But some of the inconsistencies led him to now fall. According to NFL Draft Buzz, he's projected as a third-round draft choice. There are some I've heard who say, I could see him in the second round. But apparently his stock has taken a bump up, and we talked about that on the show yesterday. Dane Brugler of The Athletic shared on social media that Jaylen Milroe received an invitation and accepted an invitation to attend the 2025 NFL Draft in person. Now, why is that significant? Now, that normally happens. People accept those invites because they expect to be first-round picks or there is high-level interest in someone being a first-round pick. And that would be stunning because everything we just said, Jaylen Milroe, people are saying third round, fourth round, maybe second round if you're feeling frisky, first round. Oh, wow. And here's this. Yesterday, in case you missed the show, I highly recommend you guys give that a watch. NFL draft analyst Ryan Roberts of A to Z Sports joined me and Woody yesterday at 3 o'clock. And I started off the show by asking about Jaylen Milroe and saying, does this mean what I think it means? Milroe accepting his invite. And here was the response of Ryan Roberts. There's more to the response, so like I said, you guys can go watch the show if you'd like. But, quote, I've maintained, this is Ryan Roberts, that I still think Milroe is the third quarterback that comes off the board in April's draft. The major question I would have is where does he come off the board? He is a very boomer bust kid. He really is. I'm still not sold that he's a top 10 pick, but I'm kind of sold that he's a first-round pick. What the bleep? So here we are. Are the Jets about to shock us? Because if Ryan Roberts is right and Jaylen Milroe is going in the first round, well, that leaves only two options. Well, maybe three. I left one out of the article. There are three options for the Jets. Number one, you take him at 7 and you stun the world. We will be live streaming that. Good Lord, I can only imagine my reaction in that particular scenario. Number 2, trade back and try to get him because if he's your guy. But if he's your guy, you probably don't get cute ticket quarterback, which is probably why I didn't put that on the list. And then number 3 is from 42, you try to trade up. Now, if Mel Kiper's mock draft is right, Jaylen Milroe is going to be available at the beginning of day 2. Maybe you could swing and make a move. Perhaps. But if Ryan Roberts is right, then the Jets got to launch back into the back end of the first round and secure his services. The Jets are doing a lot of homework on him. We don't know bupkis about this regime. We don't know about Darren Mucci. We don't know about Aaron Glenn. Are they circling the wagons on Jaylen Milroe? And I will tell you this real quick as you guys continue to vote on that poll. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I'll put this out in the universe. I think the Jets are actually a phenomenal landing spot for Jaylen Milroe, if it happens. Here's why. The consensus among draft experts is that Jaylen Milroe needs time. He needs time. That's what experts say. And if that's true, well, shoot, you should have plenty of time in Jets land because you have Justin Fields who's above him. You have Tyrod Taylor who's above him. those guys are both legitimate guys that are going to be above Jaylen Milroe. He would be cryogenically frozen on the bench, so he would be able to learn. And guess what? Jaylen Milroe, as we'll get into in a moment with the statistics, he is a dual threat quarterback. Justin Fields, dual threat quarterback. Tyrod Taylor, dual threat quarterback. He'd be learning from fellow dual threat quarterbacks in the room, learning the game of football, developing and all those sorts of things. And also, I would say this for the people, we could debate this when we open up the phone lines in a moment. If you're going to swing at the quarterback position, it makes sense to go for upside. Like, and this is going to be a wild comparison. I'm sure people are going to screenshot this video or screen grab or whatever. Like Patrick Mahomes, man. Like, that was a swing. Boom or bust. You just heard that from Ryan Roberts. There's a chance it could go very poorly. But there's a chance it could go well. And if you swing for the fences and make contact on the old baseball, well, then all of a sudden, you've got something cooking. Jaylen Milroe is absolutely, unquestionably an elite runner. He is an elite runner. Look at the numbers. They are sick. During his 4 years at Alabama, 1,500 rushing yards, 33 touchdowns. Over the last 2 seasons, he had 32 of those 33 touchdowns. Okay? Unbelievable. This guy's elite at running. Now, you guys will politely let me know, Paul, he's trying to play quarterback, not running back. And yes, that's true. Yes, that's true. But boy, if you got something elite you could do and you could build around it, which again, hopefully you could do with the development nature of this as a new regime coming in, that could be pretty intriguing. Lance Zierlein called him an explosive athlete when talking about his talent, saying he's got a strong arm and elite speed that he brings to the table. Here are some of the strengths from Lance Zierlein. He's unflinching when he delivers throws in the face of imminent contact. Has NFL arm strength, delivering drive throws with velocity. That big arm, I think, will play well in the cold weather up here in New York, New Jersey. Ball comes out in a split second if it needs to be. Accuracy improves when he minds his weight transfer. 2023 tape shows a more consistent deep ball passer. Good things happen as a passer when he's rolling out to his right. Finished his career with 33 rushing touchdowns, including 20 in 2024. We just said that. Back-breaking scrambler when defenses loses lane integrity. This is a very dangerous, dangerous man. And the more I think about it, the more I'm intrigued. Now, again, this would be incredibly reckless. Incredibly reckless. But if the Jets believe he's the guy and you have the situation that you have, boy, would that be intriguing. Again, at 7 would be, quite frankly, if I'm just being honest, if they take him at any point, they take him at 7, they trade back into the first round, whatever happens anywhere there. Like, all of a sudden, shit. I'm sort of like, okay. All right, Jaylen Milroe, can you be the guy? Can you be the guy? I'm going a little higher registers here, but wait a second. Wait a goddamn second. What is going on here with Jaylen Milroe? By the way, here's the measurables from the NFL Combine. He finished with on the NFL Combine profiles, right, for NFL.com. They rate all your production, okay? They rate your athleticism score and your total score. He had a 99 athleticism score, which is the highest score that's available at the Combine. Unbelievable. 6'2", 217 pounds, 30 5/8 arms. His hands are a little smaller at 9 3/8. So take that in for the hand crowd that's out there. But boy, oh boy. And you want to know what really led me here with there's all the stories and stuff, is Philium. I'm going to give a shout out to FL Phil 98. You know, a consistent message from Philium throughout this draft process, a great listener of this show, a great viewer of this show, is he says, Paul and everybody out in the universe, you're not going to be able to fill every hole on the roster in this draft, right? The draft is going to come and the draft will go and there will be needs remaining on this Jets roster, right? Rome is not built in a day and all that jazz, right? And if that's true, and I would imagine it is, the Jets have 8 picks, unless Darren Moody's doing all kinds of trade around, I don't imagine he's going to fill every hole in this roster. But if you know that you're going to have holes anyway, and that you're not doing insert whatever, this or that. I'm just kind of curious if the Jets just go, you know what? Let's get our guy. We'll continue to build this team. It just sort of intrigues me. Taylor Sterling says, 48 hours ago, we were saying, quote, give Fields a shot, end quote. Now we're talking about taking a quarterback in the first again. I can't take this back and forth. And I will just lay it straight. I discuss what is happening in the universe. Me personally, if it was up to me, I would not take a quarterback. I would give Justin Fields his fair shot. However, I can't ignore all the homework the Jets appear to be doing on Jaylen Milroe. I feel like I would be doing you listeners and viewers a disservice because I know people rewatch the show. Shout out to those people on YouTube. I know people listen to the audio-only version. Shout out to those people and the people watching live. Everywhere that you consume the show, I appreciate it. I feel like I'd be doing you guys a disservice to go, bah, I say the Jets shouldn't take a quarterback, so I'm not even going to entertain the possibility. I think I would be doing you guys a disservice, quite frankly. I sure do. I think what I have to do is have an incredibly open mind to whatever is presented. And hopefully you guys get the best possible information out of it. That's my take. So again, giving Fields a shot is 100% something I said 24 hours ago, for Pete's sake, let alone 48 hours ago. Just saying it to my fiance. She has no idea what I'm talking about, but I said, hey, we should probably give Fields a shot. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Justin Fields? Anywho, different conversation for a different show, perhaps. But if the Jets are doing this homework, so the Jets are doing homework on quarterback. Quarterback is now as buzz he's going in the first round. If he's going in the first round, the Jets are at 7. What are they? Is it at 7? Are they trading back in? What's happening here? So again, I would feel awful for Justin Fields because this is a guy that was handed the keys to the franchise for like a month and a half. And then we draft the guy, and obviously the clock would be ticking. Now, the good news is on a Jaylen Milroe is he is no immediate threat unless something crazy happens. He's no immediate threat to overtake Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor for that matter. So it's like hey, keep focusing on what you are. Easier said than done to tell Justin Fields to keep focusing on being the guy. This is just a guy for the future. Justin is probably like, well, I thought I was the future. So again, you could cause some turbulent waters. And it is what it is. If you take a quarterback after the first round, that inherent pressure does not exist. Okay? It's there, but it's not as there's a first round draft choice. Either 7 or trading back into the first round to go target your guy. That's going to create some headlines. So, like I said, I just feel like it would be a disservice to you guys to just pretend like, no, I don't want it, so I'm not going to do it. No, I think we have to be very open to this process. Terrence Hill says, if we do have holes to fill, by the way, quick timeout, we do. Right tackle, defensive tackle, wide receiver, tight end, safety. And then we could start arguing about depth pieces for people that might leave. Running back, what if Breece Hall dips? Off-ball linebacker, what if Quincy Williams dips? So, yeah, we got a lot of these. Terrence Hill says QB is not one of them right now. Okay. There you go. I understand. Luca Quintieri, says Milroe is Anthony Richardson, which some people have said that could be true. Could just be another Anthony Richardson. MFC said the poll didn't specify round, did it? No, there are 3 choices to the poll. And I'll reread the question. I'll put it out in the universe here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can vote. The question I put out there on YouTube right now is, would you as a Jets fan have any interest in the team drafting Alabama quarterback Jaylen Milroe? Yes, no, or depends what round. And the reason why I say depends what round, because some people have said, well, of course, 100% of the vote should be depends what round. I don't think so, because there's people like Luca just said that believe he's Anthony Richardson, or other people just don't like him in general. So you wouldn't take him in any round, let alone the conversations we're having now. Luca says, stick to the script. Armand Membu or Tyler Warren at 7. It feels a little weird that we've reached a consensus at 7. Like, either one of these guys is great, because this is a new regime. How are we so sure they're just going to take these 2 guys because we say so? We say, hey, these are needs, and they're going to take one of these players with these needs. Will they? We'll see. Dave Briga says, draft talk is all speculation and smokescreens. You can't get tied into anything, which speaks to the point of why you have to be willing to adapt and move and groove on all these varying topics. Yeah. Yeah, 3 Sims have been talking about Jaylen Milroe for a hot second. Gucci Finesse takes it a step further, says if any quarterback selected within the first 3 rounds by the Jets would be ridiculous. All right. There you go. I can understand that. The Meadowland Swamp Thing says $30 million for 2 years. I'm not feeling bad for Justin Fields. You don't have to. I'm just saying for me, because Mike Greenberg, shout out to Connor Long, who just had Mike Greenberg. I had Greeny on last year. There was such a pinch me moment. So really happy for Connor getting Greeny on the show. And Greeny said that he believes the Jets are Justin Fields' first real shot. His first real shot, like in the NFL. Like with the Bears, they had the coaching issues and they had the players around him issues. And then obviously in Pittsburgh, he gets yanked after 6 games and showing some chutzpah. So, yeah, you don't have to feel bad like he's going to have a bag of money. But in terms of him getting a shot to maximize his full potential, that would be jeopardized if the Jets took a quarterback early in this draft. So, yeah. Taylor says, I appreciate you talking about the stories, just the people making this stuff up are inconsistent. That's interesting. Now, unless they're making it like the quarterback coach working out Jaylen Milroe was public. We all saw it at the combine. So that one's public. The other one I can't confirm because I wasn't there is the pro meeting of pro day with key offensive staff, Jordan Schultz. If he says so, okay. I don't know. I haven't heard that from anywhere else, but all right. That makes sense to me, I guess. So that's more private. I don't know. Me and MFC are like this, baby. And I don't believe I gave you the shout out at the beginning of the show, so let me make sure I do that. MFC gifting a channel membership right at the beginning, MFC. My apologies. I did put it on my bingo card, MFC, for memberships. You have 4 memberships so far this month, so thank you. I had it written down in my notes, but the only thing I did not is, let me see. Let's reveal the new number. Or new member, to the Boy Green Coffee Club, which is PP Donuts. Welcome to the Boy Green Coffee Club. And shout out to MFC for gifting another membership. You just got yourself another raffle ticket for our contest, brother. Thank you kindly. Thank you. Yes, sir. It is smokescreen season. I guess you got to keep that in mind. But I agree with MFC's original point. I'd take a quarterback every damn year. Even if you have a quarterback, take another one. Then you can have a trade asset or what have you. Gucci Finesse says, I would lose all faith in Aaron immediately with a quarterback drafted. I feel like that's a little rich. Again, you guys can feel however you want. I can't make you feel a certain way. But if they take a quarterback, what I will say, I mean, there may be some other words that are thrown out there in the universe on a live stream when that happens, or if that happens. But my overall theme, once I calm down from the dopamine high of that moment, is this regime hasn't effed anything up. If they take a quarterback, they believe that guy is the guy, especially in the first round, obviously. So if they believe, who am I? They haven't hurt me yet. They didn't draft a Zach Wilson and it didn't work. Like, if they take a quarterback, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to invest my faith in Darren Bucci. I'm going to invest my faith into Aaron Glenn. Say, okay, you did the homework. You believe this the guy. Okay, let's ride, baby. Let's hop on Noah's Ark and let's ride through the waters. Let's go. I'm in. So if they decide, they do the quarterback evaluations and they say, hey, man, Jaylen Milroe is the guy. I'm like, okay, if you say so, let's roll. So I'm not going to lose faith. If you people out in the audience do, God bless. Again, you guys can have your own opinions, obviously. I prefer us all having different opinions. I don't want any yes men in this audience where they just say, Paul, you're handsome. I'm like, stop it. You're right, but yes, okay. You know, it's good to have conflicting opinions and conversations and things of that nature. So I would not lose faith, but if you guys do, that's totally up to you. Mitch Staff Fields is a 2-year deal, right? He does, and I think the Jets nailed this, Mitch. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if Justin Fields is going to work out or is not going to work out. But I'll tell you this. So let's forget the quarterbacks in the draft for a second. No matter what they're going to do. Let's just talk about Justin Fields. Justin Fields is 26 years of age. If he kills it this year and is awesome, the Jets have a quarterback on an insane deal and they have exclusive negotiating rights to work out a long-term deal. Let's say Justin Fields. Let's go positive. Let's say Justin Fields is our franchise quarterback. He plays this year. Great system around him, great talent around him, and Justin Fields, we see the best version of Justin Fields we've ever seen. Possible. That's within the realm of possibilities. And then after the first year, which would be 2025, we're in the offseason of 2026. We go to the negotiating table and say, Justin, you're our guy. We believed in you. You believed in us. Let's work out a long-term deal. You're the franchise quarterback. Bing, boom, bam. Let's go the other way. Let's say it goes epically wrong and fails. All right. You've got a slightly expensive backup or bridge quarterback for 2026, and you're back to swinging in that realm. To me, you set yourself up beautifully. If the Jets would have only signed Justin Fields to a one-year deal, let's say he kills it, then what do the Jets do? Geez, do we franchise tag him? Do we do this? Do we do that? All of a sudden, a lot of craziness. 2-year deal, you insulate yourself. Protect yourself. Whether it goes good, whether it goes bad, either way, it's a good roll of the dice, as Mike Greenberg said to Connor Long, and I agree. I think it's a great roll of the dice. Scandal 26. Does anyone know if Jordan Travis at the Jets facility? Unless an inside reporter just shares it, we may not know unless two things. First off, the Jets put out photos every day, so you could cycle through all the Jets photos of who was there. And you just have to sort of be looking for him. Like, where's Waldo? Where's Jordan Travis? And you can look through that way. Because the teams do not report the attendance. And why is that? It's because it's voluntary. If they reported who showed up, you would find out who didn't show up. And thus, you'd be able to criticize them on social media and things of that nature. I'm sure that's not the only reason, but as a particular reason. Especially with the teams, because the teams can't say it's voluntary and then like say shady comments in press conferences to say, I wish everyone was here, because like that's putting pressure on guys to show up even though they're not supposed to. It's voluntary. Long story short. So anywho, if you're going to want to find that out, I doubt you'll get that from a reporter. You may have to find that out for yourself by, again, the Jets on NewYorkJets.com post photos like, workout day 1, and they got like 25 photos, and you can kind of cycle through. Was Jordan Travis there? Was Jordan Travis there? Or unless someone just had someone in Jordan Travis's camp that says, hey, he's there ready to go. We'll see. So keep that in mind. NY Jets FL says 2026 is the year of the quarterback, and I like Cade Klubnik, the Clemson quarterback. Okay. All right. Cade Klubnik it is. Again, if you go back, I did a show last Saturday, which Jets Draft War Room. It was basically with a bunch of the draft professors. In the beginning of our conversation, we're talking about 2026 quarterbacks, and there was a lot of names we went through. Cade Klubnik is one of the ones we brought up. So, yeah, there's a lot of names. MFC says I wouldn't take Milroe with 7. I wouldn't either, but, oh boy, can you imagine? Good Lord, I am falling out of this seat. That would be bonkers. That'd be Baby Billy Bible bonkers if that happened. That would be wild. Draft Geek jumping in. Why not worry about quarterback this draft and give Fields 1 year, or why not worry? Like, I understand what you're saying, Draft Geek. Let's forget about quarterback this draft. Give Fields a year and fix your roster with all your draft capital somewhere else. That's a compelling case, Draft Geek. A very compelling case. Build up your roster. Give Fields a chance. If Fields is awesome, great, you got your guy. If he sucks, okay, we built the rest of the roster, and now we're in a position to draft the next guy. That's a perfectly valid plan, Draft Geek. Makes a lot of sense. And if they do that, Draft Geek for the win, baby. That's compelling. That's a compelling case. I will not push back on that. Chitty Took says, I'd like it if Milroe fell, but it doesn't seem like he will. No, based on the latest buzz, seems like he's going somewhere in round 1. Maybe he makes it to the beginning of day 2. And I don't see why, like, for instance, let's play it out, right? Some Jet fans say, I wouldn't take him at 42, but take him. I'd trade up in the second round or something. Here's why I think you're screwed if you try to wait to day 2. Cleveland Browns' offensive coordinator is Tommy Rees. Tommy Reese was the offensive coordinator at Alabama. Jaylen Milroe was at Alabama. Cleveland is the first pick of the second round, 33. If Jaylen Milroe, I do not anticipate Cleveland taking a quarterback at 2, so put that in a pocket. And that means they'll still need a quarterback because the only healthy quarterback on the roster is Kenny Pickett. I think Jaylen Milroe to 33 would be a cha-chink lock if that's how it all plays out. If he makes it to 33, I think it's over. So if you're the Jets, you want Jaylen Milroe, you better leapfrog Cleveland because I don't think that's happening. Or the Giants, if they don't take a quarterback at 3, I could totally see it at 34. So, again, if you want your guy, might have to get frisky. Yep, that's true. MFC says, if Travis can't or doesn't work out, we need a groomable backup because Tyrod is 38. Is he that old? I don't think he's that old. I think he's like 35, if I remember correctly. And he is. He's 35. He turns 36 in August. So Tyrod's a little younger, but still older. I don't know how long he plans on playing. Everyone's not going to be Tom Brady playing till 45. But your point remains, MFC. Easy says, I would take a flyer on this kid if he was one of our 4th-round picks. I believe we only have one 4th-round pick, so there's that. And it does not sound like he will be available in the 4th round easy, so doesn't sound like it. Again, I'm with 3 siblings. I really don't want a quarterback this draft. I want Fields to really get a chance and put weapons around him. Agreed. Let's see what he can be. MFC. What if Fields gets hurt, runners always do, and Tyrod Taylor punctures his lung watching Netflix? Jordan Travis time? I don't know. That would be very Jetsy if that happened, I guess. There you go. It could be. I love Chitty Took. You bring up Kyle McCord. Come on, baby. I'm a Syracuse guy. I love Kyle McCord. So he's not mobile. That's the only thing that if the Jets are gung-ho on getting a mobile guy, and Rich Cimini sort of indicated those are the quarterbacks they like, then Kyle McCord may not be that guy. He doesn't have the mobility of a parked car. He's a little bit more agile than that. He's got underrated, but you're not going to mistake him for Jaylen Milroe either. So Easy sending in a super chat here on the program. Every time I get a super chat, we hear from my beautiful daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
Easy says, we got 2 fourths. I might take a shot, I think, on the kid. Yeah, again, no 2 fourths. Here are the picks the Jets have. They have a 1st-round pick. They got a 2nd-round pick. They got a 3rd-round pick. They got a 4th-round pick. And then they got 2 fifths and 2 sixths. I believe, if I remember the first 4 rounds correctly, you got 7, 42, 73, and 110. Those are your first 4 rounds of picks. Then you double dip in the 5th and 6th, respectively, thanks to the Mike Williams and Mecole Hardman trades previously. So no extra 4th easy, but I like the cut of your jib of dancing in those waters. Again, if you decide to take a quarterback, here we go. Let's get another super chat here on the show. Ugly.
Wow.
Thank you, Bubba Badshaw, with your previous super chats in that combination. You are now at 5 raffle tickets so far this month. Appreciate it, pal. Thank you so much. On the banner, let's see. And yes, okay. So you don't make the banner on the scroller, but you do have 5. And the real question, Paul, is double, dribble, or travel? Basketball is not my favorite sport, but I do enjoy basketball. I was watching the Celtics-Knicks game last night. God, the Knicks suck. What is Mikal Bridges doing? The ball bounces right off his face. Turnover. Celtics win. At least the Knicks made it close with the Celtics for once, because the other ones have been a bloodbath. But that should be, I guess, the next poll on the show. Double, dribble, or travel. But I will leave that one be. I imagine the phone calls will bring that back up. But Badshaw, thank you very much for stirring that pot. Beautiful. And Scandal 26, you're welcome. Good explanation on how the offseason program works. Thanks, BG. Yeah, you're damn straight. We're in the middle of phase 1. Again, the Jets and any other new head coach show. That's Jets, that's Bears, that's Patriots, that's Raiders, that is, who's the other one? Jaguars. All those coaches basically get a 2-week head start on the offseason programs over everyone else. So they get a chance to install their culture and things of that nature. Again, there's not heavy practices, nothing like that going on. It's just purely voluntary. A lot of physical conditioning, things of that nature, But it's good for all the guys to be back together. So yeah, it's a nice little piece. It's a nice little piece. Let's go through a couple more questions here, and then we'll go through. Whoa. Incel Allen says no on Midget McCord. Let me see what Kyle McCord real quick measured in at the combine. Isn't this guy 6'3", 6'4"? Let me pull this up, make sure I have this right. Make sure I'm not doing Syracuse bias here. Let me see the combine profile here. He's 6'3". What are we talking about, midget? And by the way, if he's a midget, what the hell am I at 5'4"? That's what I want to know. Be a 6'3" midget. So I don't get the 6'3" midget comment, but different strokes, different folks, I guess. Grove Pete says he's going to the Steelers at 21. Jaylen Milroe. They do fixing in the NFL, and they met with him for a dinner ahead of his pro day. So there's a lot of smoke around that. That could make a lot of sense. So that's why if you're the Jets and you like him moving up from 42, you're jumping up at least 21 spots to try to 22 spots, to do the math to jump ahead of Pittsburgh. That's going to be expensive. So does a 7 trade back make sense? There's a lot of that. I see that. Yeah, James Bowles. Paul, I want to continue to love you, but please do not praise the Boston Celtics on a New York sports podcast. I try to keep that contained. I try not to throw that out there, but, every once in a while, it slips. Again, blame my parents. My father was born in Gatineau, Mass, for goodness sake, and my mother was born in Rhode Island. Blame them, not me. But anywho. Let's do this. Without further ado. Double dribble, travel, up and down, whatever your terminology, okay, or a discontinue, as Brian Farrell says. We're opening up the phone lines, and the phone lines are open for anyone and everyone. YouTube.com/BoyGreen25 is the number to call. So without further ado, quick TO, more coming up. Boy Green Daily continues after this.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Let's go.
There we go, Hep. Let's bleep and go. The phone lines are open. That is youtube.com/BoyGreen25. We have 400 people in the room. Like the video. Hit subscribe. Spread the gospel of all things Boy Green Daily. Liking and subscribing to the video is free. My favorite flavor, baby. Free. So make sure you guys feel free to do that if you're watching on the show. Show your support. And if you want to take the extra step, again, feel free to join our big raffle, the Draft Day Spectacular. One more time on the board. The official Jets Draft hat, official Jets Draft shirt, and the movie Draft Day are all up for grabs. If you submit a raffle ticket of $2.99, you are eligible. There are no limits on how many raffle tickets you could submit. And again, you guys can submit raffle tickets all the way through Tuesday, April 15th. So you guys got a couple more days to be able to do that. Feel free to take full advantage. 6 days, as a matter of fact. All right, let's jump over to the phone lines here on the program, and let's get cooking. Let's get busy. Chef Kevin Gilbert graces us with his presence. What's up, Chef?
BG, what's going on, man? How you doing?
You're always looking crispy. I just got to say, you got a freshness to you. The glasses, the hat, the ensemble. You're cooking. Yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit. I was sick for a little bit, but feeling a little bit better and whatnot.
Oh,
so
good. I'm glad.
I appreciate those nice, kind words, man. Shout out to you and the Coffee Club members, man. Shout out Austrian Jet fan, man.
Yes.
Thinking about you and everything like that. Just make sure you smash the like button. Help out the channel, man. I was getting ready to jump into what you were talking about or whatever, but you just mentioned something about callers talking about what Bradshaw was saying. Travel.
yesterday.
I saw the game last night. I don't think I caught that.
Okay, so here it is. So at the end of yesterday's show, we normally it's a football show, but we got a little basketball-y because we had a bunch of people calling in. So FL Phil 98 called in, and he was asking me, and hopefully I don't misrepresent what you were asking FL Phil 98. But at the end of the game, obviously you have and let me make sure I get the teams right. You have the Houston player who appeared to go up for a shot. And he's like, "Oh, blank." And
Okay.
then he's like,
All
"I
right.
got up. Now what am I supposed to do? If I touch
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ball, it's a turnover." And then everyone was trying to debate what that was called. And I remember it because, like, at first I couldn't think of the word. And then June called in an up and down. And I'm like, that's what I remember calling it in the street. If we're just playing basketball and someone goes up and then, doesn't shoot, we're like, you touch that thing, that's an up and down. But like other people have called it a travel, some have called it a discontinue. So do you know the proper terminology here, Chef Kevin? What is that called? What happened at the end of the Florida Houston game where the guy goes up for a shot, does not take it, and he's like, "Oh shit, I can't touch this." What is it?
All right, all right. I thought it was about the Knick and the Celtic. I saw your show yesterday, but I didn't catch the M part. All right, so
Oh yeah,
I
but the
just
Knicks Celtics thing, Mikal Bridges, what are you doing, man? Right in the
nah, that was
face? How
crazy.
about pay attention with 20 seconds to go, you
The
idiot? But anywho,
defense with that Knick game or whatever, we got OG, right?
mm-hmm,
We got Bridges, two
sure.
defensive dudes, and
Mm-hmm.
they wasn't shutting them down, man. We already know about Carl Anthony Towns, where he's definitely an offensive weapon, but then on the defensive side, definitely a liability. Christoph Porzingis, he was just anywhere in the half court or whatever, he was just throwing it up, making all that stuff. Yeah, so I guess I just caught myself in a bear trap right now
Okay. No,
with
that's all right.
so with that
Meadowland.
with that
Yeah, there you
with
go.
that game,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, did that point guard dribble the ball or he caught it, turned around and jumped up?
That's a good question. I think the Meadowland Swamp thing has it right here. So up and
Okay.
down. So if you come down with it and you go to shoot and you hold the ball in your hands and then nothing, and then you come back down, up and down. I've never heard this term before, but hey, it works for me. I should know better as a sports talk radio host, I guess. It's a discontinue if you drop it because he went to shoot it and just sort of
And he
dropped the
let it
ball
go.
in mid shot and then let go, and then he was like, geez. So I
Yeah,
guess
he
it
was
was
about to get
more so that.
his whole stuff blocked or whatever, and was like, and
Yeah,
then just dropped it down.
right. People do that all the time. Sure.
If he dribbled the ball, which I don't think he did, if he dribbled the
No.
ball
Yeah.
and then jumped up, then that would have been a double dribble
Okay.
because he already dribbled it, then went up and then was going to do it. That's a double dribble. But I don't think he did. So I think the definition would have been a travel
I think
if
you're
he
right.
just
Yeah.
because he would have just carrying or whatever with it. Um,
But good
I don't
luck
know.
to I will say this though, as the playoffs are right around the corner, and I would say good luck to the New York Knicks in the playoffs. We got the play-in tournament in 6 days. We've got the actual playoffs on the 19th, so we're 10 days away from that. So Knicks, good bleeping luck, pal.
This is one of the best times of the year, man.
Yeah.
It would be, I would say it differently if the Jets were like, doing good and whatnot. But we have the
Mhm.
draft, we got the NBA playoffs, we got the NHL playoffs, we have baseball going on. Like we got the draft stuff. Like this is one of the best times of the
Oh
year,
yeah.
man. Just with all the professional sports just happening all at once with just a ton of great content. Um, I had 1 second.
Yep.
Hey, how you doing? Could you give me a couple minutes?
I've run 3 cases, just need to sign.
All right, give me a. I'm on a call right now.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm at a liquor delivery
Oh, do you
or
want me to give
whatever.
you a quick
But
TO? We'll come back to you.
nah.
Oh, priorities. Okay.
Come on, man.
All right. Hey now.
They got it. They got to wait, man.
Of course.
So let me jump into this. So with the Milroe talk, since
Oh
that's what
yeah.
we've been
Oh
talking
boy.
about.
Yeah.
Um, to be honest, man, I think it would be foolish to draft or entertain this for the first
Mhm.
round. I think Briga hit it with the smoke screens because that's basically what
Mhm.
all the stuff is. Yeah, we have to do our due diligence by talking to all the players and whatnot. Like the Warren stuff, like there's some legitimacy behind that because we did have talks with him. So
Mhm.
it's just not speculation. Like there are reports out there that we did meet with him and whatnot, which we did with a lot of people or whatever. But when that stuff happens, then we could start to put in our 2 cents and really see how we feel and see if there's any kind of steam behind that stuff. But I just think this is kind of one of the things where kind of work on a trade back scenario where you could talk to the teams and say, hey, look, we're really interested in Milroe. There's other teams interested in him as well. What's your best trade package or whatever, and then trade back or whatever, and then kind of see what we can pick up. I wouldn't go too far back, man, just because we need talent right now.
Of course.
But to entertain Milroe, man, to get him, it's like what are we doing? We have so many holes to fill, man. Like,
Hmm.
with the last regime, like, all right, when you ask like the Joe Douglas people and whatnot, and people that are all about the roster that we have currently or whatever, and I start asking like, all right, so name the players. You get up to 10, 12 players, and then it's like, all right, well, who else we got?
Hmm.
It's a 53-man roster. Who else do we have on this team that's going to actually give us some type of production? So for me, getting Milroe, he's not going to play this season, man. All right, we
No, right, right.
like
He would not. Right. Mhm.
with Tyrod Taylor's the backup and all that. So this is just a grooming thing. So how is he going to help us this year? Now, if it's something for the long run, I get it. But then it's like you got to look at what he did in college. Like
Mhm.
this past season, for me, honestly, the 16 and 11, 16 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, that didn't look good, man. Like when you look at
No.
the stats, you saw
No.
what he did against Michigan. Like the stuff didn't look good. Getting sacked 5 times, I guess you can say he's elusive when you watch the tape. Yeah, that's cool, but to spend the assets to get him that early, even in the second, like I wouldn't do that, man.
Mhm.
Um, to think about, and we spoke about this, a couple of months, man, me and you about ever since the Miami and the Syracuse game with Kyle McCord and
Oh
Cam, with
yeah.
me being a Miami guy and all that. Like I like
Yes.
McCord, but he doesn't, and I wouldn't mind him. But here's the thing too, like he
Mhm.
doesn't, like if you're listening to what Glenn's saying, he's talking about a dual threat quarterback, and he's like in on fields. I'm not
Yeah.
hating on your boy, man. If you just look at
Yeah.
the stats, he has no positive rushing yards, man. So it's
Definitely
like,
not. No.
so how can he kind of like really help us, unless you're thinking about the Goff situation in Detroit, where it's like, all right, maybe, but when you're talking about dual threat, as Glenn is, like McCord's not going to be the guy. I really highly doubt that we
Hmm.
would go and draft him just because it doesn't fit what he's saying. It's almost like, all right, you're saying one thing and then you're getting another type of player, which
Right.
for me it doesn't. You're just starting your tenure now with the Jets, and to kind of like go back and forth with what you're saying, I just don't think it would really make too much sense for him. We have a lot of positions, obviously the trenches, man, defensive tackle, offensive tackle. Like we really got to solidify the stuff and then get depth too. The
Oh yeah.
defensive tackle situation, like what's the depth that we have there? Offensive line, what's the depth that we have there? And for me, that's scary, man. Tight end, I get it, man. I get the people that want to get some other position other than a tight end. Like I 100% understand that. It's just like, all right, if we don't get a tight end here, what else is there available in free agency? I get to
Hmm.
talk about the third and the fourth round for a tight end, but there's a big drop off, man. There's no guarantee that we're going to get these other tight ends available. So for us, it just feels like we're really setting ourselves up for failure, especially with all the positions that we need, man. So with a weapon with Tyler Warren, he could also play fullback as well. You can utilize him
Sure.
pretty well. Not getting him and getting offensive tackle or defensive tackle, like okay, like it makes sense to me. But then it's like, who's going to start at tight end? Like we got Rucker. Like do we honestly feel good as a fan base? We'll see. Right now, this is cool to discuss about and talk about. But then when you're looking at the roster on paper, it gets a little scary, man. And knowing about the depth too at free safety, at cornerback,
Hmm.
linebacker, I get it. But then it's like, so what are we going to do next season with Quincy?
Yeah.
Like with run stuffing linebackers, I get Quincy could go up there and take on a lineman or whatever. But when you got Sherwood, who played free safety in college, now he's a linebacker. I get the intensity and all that, but when you're going like man up with a lineman, it's a little different, man. Like when you watch him, he's not really going head on and throwing the lineman off him. That's Mosley. Mosley, he's just
Hmm.
somebody that doesn't give
Oh
a
yeah.
damn and just running in full steam and just knocking people out. We don't have that. Mosley's done, man. So now it's like, who's there that could take on blocks and help out in the run game, knowing that our defensive tackle situation last year and presently doesn't look too good. So it's like, what are we doing? What's the plan? Let's get the stuff together at this point. Let's see how the draft goes, and then we can
Hmm.
kind of critique after that and kind of put in our 2 cents and whatnot.
Yeah. The
Like
draft is 2 weeks from tomorrow, so unbelievable.
I'm sorry. Can you check in the liquor order downstairs?
Yeah, I checked now.
You did it? All right,
Yeah.
thank you. All right. See, my staff, my kitchen staff, man.
Of course.
We got it going on. You got a lot of callers on.
Yeah, but it's okay. Go ahead. You can.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so like with Patrick Mahomes, because you brought it up before.
Yeah.
He was in a really good situation,
For sure.
and I only really know, like, just speaking for myself, like I followed Kansas City like hardcore from 2006 because that's when my boy got drafted by them, and I was
cool.
like really following him really closely and whatnot. And when they got him, he was able to sit behind Alex Smith, and with a
Right.
great offensive mind like Andy Reid, like he was properly groomed and was able to see certain situations as a rookie, sitting behind. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Alex Smith was a top 10 quarterback, but he was somebody that could manage the game and not make a lot of stupid decisions. Could he run really well? He got some first downs. He did have an arm. Was able to hit players across the field and everything like that, and that just helped Patrick Mahomes learn and groom. And you don't know if they would have just threw him to the fire, would he be the same player today? You don't know. But I just personally, with him sitting behind and having some time to look and kind of break down games and look at the film too and see in certain situations what do you do with the ball. Like I really felt like that helped out a lot. Like if he was in another situation, maybe with a defensive minded head coach, would he be the same player today? Like, I don't know, but Andy Reid, he has the pedigree, man, with the quarterbacks that he was able to groom and know what to do in certain situations, which I really think helped out the cause, man, for his success currently. But yeah, that's kind of it, man. I appreciate your time, BG. Always a pleasure talking to you. Salute to the coffee club members and all that. Keep up the great content, my brother.
I appreciate it, Chef. I have to just say, first off, on the 2006 Kansas City Chiefs, what are you talking about? Tony Gonzalez, Priest Holmes. Go with some of that. So put that aside. Derek Johnson. What just occurred on the program was one of the most elite, underrated things. So Chef is doing what Chef Kevin Gilbert does. Someone comes in for a liquor order. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm talking Jets over here. Pack it." I'm like, "Oh, you sure? I can give you a call." He's like, "Hell no. I've called into this program." That was one of the elite moments that's ever happened on Boy Green Daily. That was hilarious. Chef just went like, "Oh, hell nah. I'm doing over this." 3 siblings says, Chef said, "I'm talking Jets. Pipe down over there. You'll get your turn." Unbelievable. Zach Quinn, liquor delivery guy can wait, pal. I'm on Boy Green Daily, you bastard. 3 siblings. He could wait. That was hilarious. That was funny. That was funny. That was funny. Yes, Yo Holmes, he does have his priorities straight. That is true. Now, real quick, just a quick correction. Emmanuel Holcomb says, "Hey, the last Alabama quarterback we took was pretty good. I think you're talking about Joe Namath, but actually, they took a different Alabama quarterback, Greg McElroy. You remember that Alabama quarterback playing in that like Cardinals game? There was like 6-4 or whatever the godforsaken 6-6 tie. Whatever we had, a 9-6. I can't remember what that godforsaken game was. Where I think we won that game, but we really lost. But Greg McElroy is the last Alabama quarterback I believe we took. And but Namath, I get what you're saying. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Hey, Nate's back here on the show. What's up, Nate?
What's happening, BG? How we doing?
Good. We're doing excellent.
Can you see me?
No, it's oh, now I can. Okay, here we go.
All right, we're live again.
Okay, great.
Back in action.
Great.
All right, I was triggered again since we were still talking about basketball talk today.
Yes. Yeah.
So what was so hard to understand yesterday that the call is a travel? Then I heard today that who brought up discontinued dribble?
Meadowland Swamp Thing.
All right, so so there's 8 rules in the sport of basketball. Did you know that? There's 8 rules in the sport of basketball.
I did not, but okay, fill me in.
The most important rule 4, called definitions, which defines basically everything we're talking about: travels, double dribbles, discontinued dribble. A discontinued dribble, so as we talked about, hood slang yesterday, You know what a carry is. Oh, the guy puts their hand, does the Allen Iverson crossover, gets his hand under the ball, right? So that by definition, when you see a referee do kind of that thing in an NBA game, that's a discontinued dribble. That's a carry. Nothing what he did yesterday is a discontinued dribble. What he did was a travel. Now, I don't know if, let me see if I'll flip my camera. I might be able to break this down for the layman's out there for you guys.
Yeah, okay, great.
So by definition, when you lift your pivot foot before a dribble, right? All right.
Oh, geez.
Hold on. I got to. All right.
Okay.
So what he did, yes, I'm going to break it down.
Yeah.
Very simply, right? This is a pivot, right? All right. I got to see myself better.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, here we
Here's
go.
our pivot, right? Here's our pivot. You have to dribble by the time this back foot is lifted, correct? That's what it says in the rule book. The ball's got to hit the ground by the time this back foot is lifted. So all he did was leap in the air, which is basically just the same thing, the same definition of by putting the ball on the ground while his pivot foot was lifted. He had both feet on the ground. He didn't establish a pivot, but when he jumped, he has to either shoot the ball before his pivot foot, which he didn't establish, returns to the ground and he possesses the ball. He returned to the ground. Once his hands touch the ball, it's a travel by definition. Again, there's 8 rules, 4 definitions. So I was trying to break it down because you don't see that very often where the guy is jumping in the air and then throwing it on the ground. But you do see, you see it in youth sports a lot where the kid throws the ball out real quick before the foot on the ground. He kind of gets a running start to the basket. And that's the exact same call where it's just you have to put the ball on the ground before your pivot foot is lifted, period. He didn't do that. He threw it onto the ground while both feet were in the air. So he couldn't touch the ball again. It's very basic. It's not a discontinued dribble. It's not a double dribble. I'm sorry. This is like a pet peeve of mine because people, I don't know, it's happened a lot the last 10 years of people just going on all these talk shows. I guess this is more of a football talk show. And I mean, you can also just look up the definitions or watch a YouTube video and then it starts into 2-day arguments on a football show because people are too lazy to look up a definition in a rule book. So anyway, discontinued dribble is a travel. What happened yesterday, or I'm sorry, 2 days ago now, is 1,000% a travel.
So
would never be called a double dribble.
So what do you believe his intent was? So when did he just change his mind midair about shooting?
He thought he was open. Look, they had a great play. It was an elevator screen. So he's underneath the basket. 2 guys, he's coming through 2 people, and they basically close the elevator doors, right? They boom, seal them off when he runs through. He's wide open, but someone who was guarding the 2 guys setting the screen realized the play and the time on the clock and just ran around the elevator doors and closed out as hard as he could, like a super hard closeout. It might have even got fouled if he took it. Who knows? But he decided that might have got blocked. It was a long defender closing out, and he put the ball on the ground. So, yeah, he I guess, saw it as open when he was going through, but it's also he had to have eyes in the back of his head because he's running through the elevator, and the defenders are behind him. He must have felt that he was more open than he actually was. Yeah, he shouldn't have jumped, but he did what he did, and yeah, it's a very strange ending to a game. It's just weird because most games end on a buzzer beater. It hits the rim, it goes in, it does or it doesn't. It's kind of a pass or fail kind of test. This was what's happening? Why didn't he touch it? What's going on?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right,
so it was a very weird ending to a basketball game that you would see not even in a youth basketball game because they wouldn't even know the rules. Honestly, in the playground, bro, if you do that, if someone calls that, let's be honest, bro, you're shooting for ball.
Yeah,
you're shooting for ball.
100%.
Someone's gonna be like, no, my toe was on the ground, bro. No, like I was releasing it on the way up. You're like, nah, fuck out of here, bro. Shoot for it. I shoot for it. My ball. Like no one's even. It's a wishy-washy because it doesn't happen that often. No one's jumping unless they know they have a jump shot. So it's somewhat of a wishy-washy call. But yeah, it's 100% a travel. I missed most of the other Jet stuff you were talking about. I think it might have been Jaylen Milroe today.
Yes, yeah. He's the theme of today because the Jets apparently had several members of their offensive staff meet with him ahead of the pro day, and then at the combine, their new quarterback coach Charles London put him through their own little mini private workout over there. So there's just a lot of rumors and buzz, and now that Jaylen Milroe looks like he could be a first-round pick, people are all connecting all these dots now.
Before I get to Jaylen Milroe, so in your chat yesterday, Jay and Johnny were talking about it because I called in as soon as I heard the basketball talk, and then I saw that it was already people were already chatting about the call, and people had already corrected June saying it is a travel. So shout out to everyone in the chat. But I think June, who again he's got that Bronx sensitive attitude where it's everyone's attacking me if they don't agree with me, which I wasn't doing. I was just correcting a rule, what it says in the rule book. But I think he immediately came to like, yo, Nate, I'll beat you one-on-one, da-da-da-da-da. So like I told you yesterday, I run a non-for-profit here in the city.
Yes.
So I have gym space 3 days a week on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sundays. I would love to get more content for your show in the off season.
Oh,
I would
please.
welcome June to my gym. He can name the price, $500, $1,000. He wants to play to 11. He wants to play to 21. He can pick the score. He can pick the price. But come to my gym, and we will do it on one of your morning shows. We'll do a little 7:30 a.m.
Yeah.
I have the gym starting at 8 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. So if he can make his way down from the Boogie Down Bronx, I'm assuming he still lives in the Boogie Down Bronx, which how much he talked about it. And we could play a game of one-on-one on your show for some good content. And I just need to sign a waiver on my website in case he gets hurt or anything. We have insurance, no worries soon.
Yeah,
but yeah, if he signs a waiver, he's all welcome in the gym. We can get a good game of one-on-one, and we got the Wi-Fi over the school. We should have some good video feed, and we'll set up all the content on your show.
Well, the challenge is sent out into the universe. And by the way, part, of course, like it was any question. Yeah, that part's accepted for my end. Hell yeah. I'm all about it.
Hell
baby.
yeah.
So now
Right on the 2-3 train line. Easy to get to. Right on the red train line. If you get to the 1-2-3 train, you can get to my gym.
All right, Nate, we'll see if June responds before the end of the show. We'll see.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm Jaylen Milroe, top 30, whatever. I was in on the guy because his highlights look really cool.
Sure.
But I don't know. If there was a YouTube page, Paul, that I should have done this years ago because I always wanted to.
Yeah.
Put the lowlights of everyone. He has some of the ugliest lowlights you'll ever see. It's really we all look up a name and the highlights pop up, and he's got these like eye-popping highlights because he runs like Michael Vick with like 40 pounds on him running through defenders.
Exactly.
And then sometimes, like even at the combine, like he was throwing into the dirt at times. I'm like, all right, this guy's gonna run a comeback versus 3 cones, and you just got to put the ball right there. And he was spiking. So I would love to see for some of his lowlights, and clearly he's like a project. Like who's the guy the Patriots get last year? That 3 or 4 touchdowns. They just traded him.
Oh my God, they just traded him. What's his name? Oh,
you know what I'm talking about? Someone just put in the chat. So,
Joe Milton.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just like a powerful arm kind of project kind of thing, and then maybe he throws for 3 or 4 touchdowns, and then in a game where Fields gets hurt, and then we trade him for a 5th, or you never know. But I don't know. His lowlights to me are just really scary. I don't know anything about the quarterback position, but. Yeah, I guess
it's a good YouTube. I would just say that if you create a low light, I don't know if that exists. I've never thought about. I just feel like people would always be because if you just said, hey, by the way, the Jets just drafted Jaylen Milroe. Let's look it up.
Everyone looks at the highlights.
Exactly. Hey, here's this. Right. Here's the other guy. I just think it provides fuller content.
Honestly, it might provide more because it's like, yo, this is him on his worst day. And if you see lowlights of like Aaron Rodgers in college, you're like, damn, like he had 1 interception that game, but he still had 330 yards, and I saw some really good throw, whatever. But yeah, so the low lights are definitely very low for that player. Yeah, the challenge is out there, and a discontinued dribble is a discontinued dribble, a carry is a carry, so on and so forth. That was the
beautiful.
Okay,
great, Nate. Thanks for calling in, brother. The challenge is out to June. Now, the only thing we're missing is who's going to be officiating this. FL Phil 98. Who's going to be going? With the whistle going. That was travel. Discontinued dribble. That was so the last piece of the puzzle. Well, 2 pieces. June, where are you at? Are you coming? And of course, who's officiating? Another piece of the puzzle. I see. Before we have a lot of phone calls here. We'll go to them. Oh, look, we've got a volunteer. Let's throw that one out in the universe. Chef Kevin Gilbert, fastest food reviews. The do-it-all man, signing liquor, signing these liquor delivery packages, talking Jets, and now officiating. Fastest food reviews, a.k.a. Chef Kevin Gilbert says, I can ref the game. Holy crap, we're getting a full game here. All righty, Roo. Okay, here we go, baby. All right, we appreciate you, Chef Kevin Gilbert. Damn straight. By the way, with your super chats and prior contributions, you're now on the leaderboard, on the board, excuse me. You got 1 raffle ticket so far this month, Chef Kevin Gilbert, so appreciate it. Okay, we've got our ref now. It happened. FL Phil 98 says, BG, I would never bring up basketball again. Please do. Apparently, the terrific content lays beneath the surface. So wonderful. Yeah, great. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Hep joins us here on the show. What's up, Hep?
Hey, Paul. Hey, fellas. An Alabama quarterback, I always like the sound of that. But
yeah, sure.
What do you think? What do you think they see? I mean, I know he's running and everything, but he does have some low lights like we were just talking about over there. But what do you think they're looking at, and what do you think they're pondering?
I missed you on a little bit of the first part. Go ahead. Say that again, Hep.
What do you think they see in this guy? And he, what do you think they're looking at?
I just feel like again, it's funny that Nate just called the low lights, highlights sort of thing. So, like, you could get infatuated with the highlights and low lights sort of scare you. I think, obviously, if we're being honest, this team sort of has a type. Now, I know Tyrod Taylor predated, they bought this house, said, oh, this couch is already here. Well, I guess it could stay. That's what Tyrod Taylor is in the quarterback room. But you add Justin Fields, the flirtation with some of the mobile quarterbacks, specifically Jaylen Milroe, it just seems like that's what they want to do, which is interesting because, again, you coming from Lions land, which Jared Goff, who, he's okay, but he's not Lamar Jackson out there. So I think, again, it sort of goes back to what I said at the beginning. If you're going to swing at quarterback, and there's a lot of names, like I said, for me, I really enjoy Shedeur Sanders as a guy. But I also, when we're talking about the swing, right? If you take a swing on Shedeur, I feel like I just sort of know what's there, the processing, the accuracy. That I'm like, okay, I could see what that is. For Jaylen, I don't think you can immediately see it on the surface, but I think that's what intrigues the Jets is that we take this and he could become this. Again, Josh Allen had all the Wyoming crap, but the Bills said, I think there's this that takes you to the next level if you're patient. Patrick Mahomes, I see this, but I think if you're patient, it says, again, there's a long list of dead bodies that teams said, oh, I think this is the guy, and then it failed. Yeah. But then there's also, if you turn around, there's the Josh Allen's, Patrick Mahomes, and things of that nature that took that leap. Lamar ended up being the last pick.
Right.
And here's another one, right? So think about stats, right? People say, oh, Jaylen Milroe, he's wildly inaccurate. Jaylen Milroe was more accurate as an Alabama quarterback than Lamar Jackson was at Louisville. Think about that. That's wild to think about as a Heisman Trophy winner and all this other crazy stuff. So, there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle. I think they're just intrigued by the upside, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think Glenn realizes that those running quarterbacks give him the most headaches. And he figures, you know what, I'm going to give someone else a headache for a change. I'm not going to deal with these headaches. It looks like the league is going in that direction, the hybrid quarterback. I don't know if unless there's some intangible of a pocket quarterback that just makes him so amazing. I see it probably going in that direction. What do you think?
It feels that way, Hep. And I'll also say to what you just said, at the annual league meetings, Rich Cimini had a lot of stats ready, which I'm sure Aaron Glenn appreciated. He's like, man, 3 of Justin Fields' biggest rushing performances were against you, coach. And he was kind of like, oh, yes, why, thank you. And he's like, and he laughed and then sort of said, well, that's part of the reason. He didn't say this term, but it's all right. If you can't beat him, then join him. Like, okay. All right, you've been killing me. Come on in and show me what I'm missing here. Maybe that can help refine my own defense of like something I'm just not, I can't see. I can't prepare for whatever you bring. And also, let's unleash that bastard on other teams. I've had enough of this headache. Let's give other teams headaches. So I think that's sort of an intriguing piece.
Thanks, Paul. Peace out.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the call, Hep. Unbelievable. Yeah. MFC said, that's what I was saying earlier, BG. 2024, he had 11 picks, but the year before, he only had 6 picks to 23 touchdowns. And again, the rushing, he had 20 touchdowns last year. And I love this, the comments here. What was this? A couple of things here. First off, we have James Fowl saying, ref Kevin Gilbert. Chef Kevin Gilbert, ref Kevin Gilbert. Very nice. Good. Okay, that's very nice. Throw it up to A-Step10. Want to just give a shout out. He says, hey, BG, I don't know if you got my email that I received the hoodie, man. I did. So awesome. A-Step10 won our raffle last month. I thought I responded, but I will double check my email to make sure that I did or didn't. But either way, A-Step10, congratulations. Thank you so much for the support on the channel, and I'm glad that you won one of our giveaways. So terrific. We do a giveaway every month here on the channel. Again, this month's giveaway is our draft giveaway with an official Jets draft hat, shirt, and movie draft day. So hopefully you guys, good luck to anyone who potentially wins that. I know I'll be getting all of those items for myself as well. So throw it out there. And look at J-Boy, baby, gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Thanks, J-Boy. Appreciate you. Boom Shaka Laka. And I love that we're now going to have this live basketball content. I cannot wait to see. Again, the only thing we're missing is June to see if he's accepting or declining said invitation. We will see what happens. J-Boy, your membership went to Kevin Clark. So Kevin Clark out there, congratulations. Very nice. And J-Boy, you now have 52 raffle tickets. You're in second place. You are 6 raffle tickets behind our boy A-Step10. So appreciate you. Again, we get 52 raffle tickets for you, my good sir. Thank you so much, J-Boy, for all the support this month. Thank you. Keep them coming. All right, we got a lot of phone calls here. Let's keep this train rolling. Up next, we have Easy. What's up, Easy?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, not too shabby. Good to see you, pal.
Yep. As far as basketball, I can't shoot. I can't pass. I can't dribble. About the only thing I can do on a basketball court is drool. So,
well,
that is
okay.
definitely not my sport. My sport, the best sport I did when I was in high school and junior high was floor hockey. I was good at that.
Okay.
Yeah, you played in the gym, with a ball.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Is there anyone you just sort of, since we're on the theme, is there anyone you want to challenge in the Boy Green Coffee Club universe to floor hockey?
Nah.
Is there anyone that's stuck in your craw that you just want to beat with a hockey stick?
Just too tired, too old.
All right.
I just don't give a crap
I want to give
anymore.
you the opportunity, though. There you
go. So this young kid, this quarterback we've been talking about today,
Jaylen Milroe,
yeah, he's got some intangibles, but he's very raw. Anybody that takes him above the third round is, I think, crazy.
Yeah, it feels
this
like
happens every year. Every year this happens in the draft. Some obscure player, just because of a certain position that he plays, all of a sudden they think of him as the second coming of Christ. And it's ridiculous. Where was all the talk about this guy for the past year and a half?
Well, a year ago, he was talked about as a top 10 pick, but then he had this season, and then he was no longer talked in that fashion.
I'm stunningly misinformed.
No, that's all right. Again, he's an Alabama guy, so he's gotten some hubbub in some of these college football playoff games. But obviously, he just had an inconsistent season, so that's led to some of the stock down recently.
I'm sure he's fine. I just have to close the door, but I can continue to talk. Okay, I'm sure he's fine. It's just that we have many more needs. Like I said, if for some miracle this kid falls in our lap in the fourth round or something, oh yeah, grab him. But other than that, I mean, we absolutely have to get a tight end. That is an absolute priority. I think our first two picks should be tight. One of our first two picks should either be tight end, receiver, O-line, or D-line. That's it. Those are the first picks.
Okay, I like
receiver, tight end, O-line, or D-line, and that's it, because that's our biggest holes. I think safety, we kind of solved a little bit of that, although I'm not completely satisfied with the safety position right now. But with our cornerback room, I think we're okay. I mean, two of those guys are like all pros. I mean, Michael Carter too is one of the better slot receivers in the league, and of course we got Sauce. I think we took a step back with DJ Reed. I mean, what I can't understand is everyone was saying DJ is going to be gone the end of the day. DJ is going to be. Why couldn't we have kept him? What would have been so wrong with keeping DJ Reed and paying for him when everyone said he was the best free agent? So you lose the best cornerback in free agency, and then you pick up another guy who's good, but he's not as good as DJ Reed. So I don't quite understand. I mean, you got to spend money. You have a salary cap. But in the league, there's this unknown rule for a lot of people that you have to spend at least up to the final 10% of that salary cap. You can't be like 20% under the salary cap. You have to spend it. I mean, you can leave yourself some room, like I think 10%, but you got to spend the money. I mean, it's a requirement. So I don't understand why, when we already have the dude, why lose the dude? Cornerbacks are a premium position. They're hard to find.
Yeah, I would say, Easy, and I appreciate the call. I think to me, the real question is not why did the Jets not keep him? I don't think he wanted to stay, because you have to, it takes two to tango. I can't just give insert person a contract and he automatically accepts it. DJ Reed said he wanted to win a Super Bowl, and it seems unlikely the Jets are winning a Super Bowl this year, but who knows? Anything can happen, obviously. So I don't know. But obviously, DJ Reed on the surface has a much better chance with a team in the Lions that had this wonderful record and was a great team and got a bag of money. So I don't think the question is, why didn't we bring back DJ Reed? I don't think he wanted to come back. The real question is, if you want to have one with everyone saying, oh, he's gone, why didn't you trade him? Washington Commanders called you at the deadline, and Joe Douglas said, nah, we good. And then you said, oh, well, we'll get a comp pick. Guess what? The Jets are not getting a comp pick. Justin Fields' contract canceled out DJ Reed. So you're getting nothing. Zero. Zip and pip. And so the real question is, why didn't they trade him at the deadline? So I think that's a real question. All right, back to the phone lines here. Johnny Boy here on the program. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, what's going on, BG? How you holding up this morning?
Hey, not too bad. It's good to see the hottest team in all of baseball, New York Mets, being represented here on the screen. Quite nice.
Always, man. Let's go Mets. And big shout out to Nick, man. I mean, to Nate. Nate was at the game yesterday too. He got.
Oh yeah. Cool for Nate. Awesome.
Yeah, he was caught on TV as well.
Oh, with the hot chocolate Steve Gelb stuff.
Catching a ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow. What?
pretty
How
cool.
did he not bring that up? He should have flexed that on the show for sure.
I mean, that's Nate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah,
Nate does
that's
stuff,
the kind of guy.
and
Yeah.
we just lived through the through his camera. So
yeah, I guess so. That's true.
But did anybody else's mind go to Good Burger when Easy was talking about he's a dude, I'm a dude, and we're all dudes?
I did get that. Yeah.
Anybody's brain go
that.
through that?
It did. Yeah, 100%. How could it not? And I'm sure it went through Easy's. I'm sure he seems like a big Good Burger guy.
Yeah, ABG. So I wanted to get your thoughts on pickleball. Is there a potential tournament that we would be able to do as well?
That's a good question. I will ask you the same question I guess we asked EZ. Do you have someone in mind in the Boy Green Coffee Club universe that you would like to challenge right now to some game of pickleball?
Now I'm too old, bro.
Okay, there we go. That's been a consistent theme so far today. Yeah, okay.
Now, but
I
anyway,
respect it though.
Hey, the Jaylen Milroe conversation and all that.
Yes.
So his projection is supposedly second and third round originally. Now it's being portrayed of a possible first round.
Correct.
Or early.
That's a good question. Right now, it's just so the draft analyst that joined me yesterday does not believe it'll be early. He is not sold that it'll be like a top 10 pick or some sort of craziness, but he is sold that he believes it'll be a first round based on him accepting the invite and the latest buzz he was hearing. And I'm like, oh, okay. And again, who is that? Is it Pittsburgh at 21 who met with him and had dinner with him? Maybe. Is it Cleveland who, again, has his offensive coordinator he had in college? Did they trade up from 33 or is that possible? Maybe. So, yeah, it seems like right now, currently, if I had to put my finger on the pulse, it's the back half of the first round would be my guess.
So the reason I say that, do we value at the possibly, because I think it's second or third, if I'm being honest with you. I think a lot of it's smokescreen in regards to Milroe. Do we value that type of a quarterback right now, which I'm not saying that Milroe is a bad quarterback. If I'm not mistaken, he had to change his mechanics on his throwing motion, the whole nine. That's what kind of skewed a lot of the numbers this year for him. That's very tough to do, if I'm not mistaken. Now,
sure, yeah, definitely.
But do we value that over other needed positions where we already filled the QB position with Justin Fields? I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I don't want us to even pick a quarterback this actual draft because I'd rather us get other positions of need as of right now. I believe they had a meeting with the safeties from Penn State.
Yes. Yep.
Yesterday. So those guys are some safeties that intrigue me as well. I wanted to get your thoughts. And I mean, do you see the Jets valuing at second round, third round, a possible quarterback over other positions of need? And I think I figured out who I want to challenge at pickleball. Florida Phil. So
there you go.
There in Florida, we'll get up and we'll make sure we battle it. But
please do
all of that, BG. Appreciate you.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate it, Johnny. Thank you so much. So pickleball challenge out to FFL 98. This is just the show of challenges, so I'm looking forward to whatever comes next. I will tell you initially, so we've kind of gone through waves. Someone brought that up earlier. Paul, on one day we're talking about this, on one day we're talking about this. to bring it all full circle to me, at the beginning, I'm like, yay, we have these needs. Boom, 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 boom. Where does a quarterback fit in here? Boom, 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 boom. Where does a quarterback fit in here? It does not. And then again, I go back to FL Phil 98's comments that keep repeating in my head over and over and over again, where he said, you can't fill all the needs in this draft. And he's right. No matter what we do, realistically, there's going to be something. We're going to look at right tackle and go, oh, well, I guess Chuck Okorafor can do it. Look at defensive tackle. Well, I guess Derek Nottie will be good enough. I guess Tony Adams is going to be the starting safety. You know what I mean? So I go through all this, and when you reach that conclusion that we're not going to fill everything, excuse me, do you turn around and say, oh, it's okay, come here, honey. Okay, it's okay. Alrighty, okay. Hi, honey. It's okay, honey. Man, it's okay. It's okay. You have a nightmare, huh? It's okay. It's okay. Well, I'm not sure what I was talking about anymore, but anywho, yes. Great. Let's get one more call in before we wrap up the show. Ricky New York here on the program. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, how's it going, Paul?
Oh,
You know what? I am an expert on smoke.
okay.
Let me tell you what, the Jets
Sure.
are doing a fantastic job because it seems like everybody is buying what AG is puffing. Whether it's Jaylen Milroe, who there's no way that we're going to draft, all the way to Membo. We're not reaching for a right tackle at 7 either. In so many words, Aaron Glenn, talked about speed over and over again. Basically told us, how he's going to prioritize some of these prospects. And it seems like everybody's just overthinking it and overlooking what he has said. Last night / this morning, I was actually working on a video that's my favorite, like top 6 prospects for the Jets.
Oh, cool.
Not like my big board top 6 overall, but for the Jets specifically. And you know what? I think we're going to definitely take a weapon early. But people keep talking about how we haven't filled holes or free agency being underwhelming. Which real quick, DJ Reed wanted out of here. He was tired.
Agreed. Yes.
Wanted out. Jamie and Sherwood wanted to be here. That's why he stayed and Reed left. But that being said, I like the fact that Glenn is he's looking at it from a lens of where is the NFL headed? Like, he's not trying to run some antiquated system like Rodgers did. He's looking at where the league is headed with mobile quarterbacks. And I like that. I like the approach that he's got with it. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see the way this thing comes together. I'm looking really forward to the draft. God, I had another point too, and now it's escaping me. But
real quick, Ricky, where you said you're working on this video? Where's that video dropping?
YouTube.
Okay, plug it. What's your YouTube channel?
Ricky New York Live.
Okay, very simple. Okay, great.
I was actually going to drop it about a week ago, but then the thing with my hand happened, and it's kind of got postponed a little bit. But it also gave me a chance to do a deep dive and go back and watch film on all these guys again. So that's been wonderful. And that's what I was going to say about free agency.
Sure.
What if I were to tell you that the Jets were going to sign not like a Aaron Donald big name, crazy name, but like a good run stuffing defensive tackle to complement Quinnen, like what we've always said we needed. Say a guy who had been in the NFL 6 years and been to 4 Super Bowls and won 3 of them. Well, guess what? We did that. I don't think people are giving him enough credit. And what if I were to tell you the Jets were going to go out and sign a ball hawking center fielder safety like we've been all clamoring for.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We did that. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Cisco is, going to be the best safety in the league, or he's the next Ed Reed where he's a threat to take it all the way. But you know what? He was picking off Mahomes. He was picking off Josh Allen. He might not be the next Ed Reed, but I think he was on his way to being like the next Kevin Byard, which isn't bad. Which isn't
No.
bad. And yeah, I just really honestly feel like we're not giving these free agent pickups enough credit. Now, Brandon Stevens is an interesting one. That one is more like upside and potential, I think, than the other two. But I like what Glenn had to say with him. And the one thing he said with him, not only is he a physical tackler and a physical player, but he can run with faster receivers. And that's something that DJ Reed could not do last year. It started with Alex Pierce, and then it went to Tank Dell. And then it seemed like every team we played, if they had like a 4-3 guy, they would line him up on Reed and the guy would run past him. And don't get me wrong, I love DJ Reed. I love the way he played. I loved his mentality. But you know what? You get enough film on a guy and you can find weaknesses, and that's anybody. But at any rate, yeah, I don't think there's any way we're taking a quarterback at all. And I would expect weapons early. And I said this on Jake's show yesterday. Like, if you in the event that you do get to move back and pick up an extra pick, I could even see them double dipping on tight end later on. But I wouldn't go Warren at the top. But I'll tell you what, Terrence Ferguson is like a young Dallas Gutterhelm is like a Dalton Schultz. You know what? I would go into the season with either one of those as a tight end, let alone both. But
Sure.
Yeah, I think we'll get a good guy like that later on. But I'm looking for that speedy weapon that Glenn talked about early in this draft, because we need that guy to take the top off.
Hey, Ricky, so do this for me after you hop off here in a second, because I've been trying to look it up, and so have a few fans have been trying to find your YouTube channel, and they can't find it on YouTube, and I can't either, as I'm trying to search exactly what you said, and nothing's coming up. So why don't you do this? As soon as you get off, go to the comment section, comment the link to your channel. I'd love to promote it and help get all our Jet fans over there, because we'd love to consume the content. So
maybe it's because there isn't any actual content there. That'll be my first video when it drops. So maybe that's part of it. But I definitely will, and I'll drop that in the chat so people can find it.
All right, beautiful. Thank you, Ricky, for the call. And yeah, like I said, I love when fellow Boy Green Coffee Club members are diving in and dipping their toes into the content creating waters. I'd love to support. I'd love to show it. I could speak for a lot of people that your calls, Ricky, are always insightful, and it sounds like a great topic. So yeah, please let me know. And if I see it, I will pin it as the pinned comment for people that watch this YouTube video after the fact. I will pin Ricky's new YouTube channel, and I will pin that so people can check out the video, so you guys can check it out. So yeah, feel free. Make sure you do it. If this video does not go live, we can just come back to this video in the live section and put it in the comment section. I will pin that comment. So please do. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, baby. We'll be back tomorrow morning for Boy Green Daily at 7:30 in the morning. Always love doing this, guys. It's a real treat. Again, we're only 15 days. How about this? 2 weeks from tomorrow is our live draft show. And, of course, obviously, the first round of the NFL draft. Can't wait to talk about it with all of you. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Boy Green Daily. Whoa. Before I go, Meadowland Swamp Thing said he sent a super chat. Let me make sure I see that here. Hate missing people. So 1 second. Meadowland Swamp Thing missed super chat. Okay. It's not coming up on my sheet here, so let me keep looking to make sure. I don't want to miss that before we go. Let me see here. See if I can find it. My apologies. Where is super chat? Okay, I'm not seeing it here. Oh, I see. I missed MFC, so let me throw that one up real quick. My apologies, MFC. Every time we get a super chat, throw it on here.
Wow.
Is Ricky a deadhead? I don't think so. Sorry, I meant to put that on when Ricky was on the show. I appreciate that. We did put that toward your total. And then Swamp Thing, I do not see yours. So my apologies there. If you send it to me tomorrow, I'll definitely give a highlight for it here on the show. So love it. All right. Beautiful. But thank you, MFC. I just put that towards your total. Oh, it was Choose you were highlighting. Thank you, Thank you, Meadowland Swap Thing. Appreciate that. 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. And again, thank you, MFC, as well. We'll see you guys tomorrow.